What stress does to your brain. Have you ever wondered why stress makes it hard to think, hard to sleep, or hard to feel like yourself? You're not imagining it. Stress changes your brain. In today's video, we'll uncover the top 10 ways stress reshapes your brain, backed by science and brought to life with stunning 3D visuals from Healthwise AI. From memory loss to emotional overload to actual structural brain damage, you'll see what really happens inside your head when stress takes over. Stick around to the end for practical tips and how to reverse the damage. Let's begin. What is stress? Let's start with a question. What is stress really? Most of us think of stress as emotional pressure, deadlines, bills, arguments. But medically, stress is much more than that. Stress is the body's automatic response to any demand or challenge, whether real or imagined. And it starts deep inside your brain. When your brain detects a threat, like a car suddenly swerving in front of you, it sends an emergency signal. This launches what scientists call the stress response, or fight or flight reaction. Your sympathetic nervous system is activated instantly. It ramps up your heart rate, speeds up your breathing, releases adrenaline, and prepares your muscles to move. But here's the kicker. Your body reacts the same way whether you're facing a wild animal or just running late to work. And if these stress signals keep coming without a break, your brain stays in high alert. That's when real damage begins. The stress. Meet the command center, HPA axis. Now let's zoom into your brain and control tower of your stress response, the HPA axis. That stands for the hypothalamus-pituitary-adrenal axis, a powerful communication highway connecting your brain and your body. It all starts in the hypothalamus. When your brain detects a threat, the hypothalamus sends a chemical alarm called CRF to the pituitary gland. The pituitary then releases ACTH into the bloodstream. ACTH reaches your adrenal glands, which release cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol boosts your energy supply and sharpens your focus. But too much of it for too long, that's when it begins damaging your memory, mood, and health. Amygdala, the fear center. Now meet your emotional smoke detector, the amygdala. It scans for danger 24/7, and when it senses a threat, it pushes the panic button. That alarm travels to your hypothalamus, launching the stress response instantly. In emergencies, it saves your life. But under chronic stress, the amygdala becomes hypersensitive. You start to overreact to small things. A message with no emoji? Panic. A late reply? Dread. An overactive amygdala suppresses your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that thinks clearly. That's how stress makes you irrational. Prefrontal cortex shutdown. The prefrontal cortex is your logic center, right behind your forehead. It helps you solve problems, regulate emotions, and control impulses. But when cortisol floods the brain, blood flow shifts away from the prefrontal cortex to survival areas like the amygdala. That's why during stress, you forget things, snap at people, or make impulsive decisions. Repeated stress can even shrink this region. This isn't weakness, it's survival mode. But it can be reversed. Hippocampus damage, memory, and learning. The hippocampus handles memory and learning. It also helps regulate your stress response. Under long-term stress, neurons in the hippocampus shrink and disconnect. This causes brain fog, forgetfulness, and difficulty learning new things. Even worse, when the hippocampus is damaged, it loses the ability to shut down stress. The smaller it gets, the harder it is to calm down. Neurochemical imbalance. Stress doesn't just change your brain structure, it scrambles your brain chemistry. It lowers serotonin, making you anxious and irritable. It reduces dopamine, so you lose motivation and joy. It suppresses GABA, the calming chemical, leaving your brain in a state of constant overdrive. That's why you may feel moody, impulsive, addicted, or unable to sleep. It's not just in your head, it's in your chemistry. Structural brain changes. Long-term stress doesn't just hurt, it reshapes your brain. MRI scans show that stress shrinks your prefrontal cortex and your hippocampus. Meanwhile, the amygdala grows. That means less thinking, more fear. It becomes a loop. Smaller logic center, bigger fear center, worse decisions, more stress. But here's the miracle. With the right tools, your brain can rebuild. Stress and the teenage brain. Teen brains are extra sensitive to stress. Their prefrontal cortex is still developing, while their amygdala is in overdrive. Add social media, exams, peer pressure, and you get a recipe for emotional overload. Stress during this stage can rewire the brain for life. But support, sleep, mindfulness, and connection can protect it. Can the brain heal from stress? Here's the good news. Stress damage is reversible. Thanks to neuroplasticity, your brain can regrow neurons, rebuild circuits, even shrink the overactive amygdala. Sleep, movement, meditation, and real connection all help repair your brain. Your brain isn't broken. It's trying to survive. And now, you can teach it to feel safe again. Practical tips and conclusion. Chronic stress changes your brain, but you can change it back. Start here. Move your body daily. Breathe deeply. Sleep intentionally. Connect with others. You are not your stress. You are your recovery. If this helped you, like the video. Subscribe for more 3D science-based health content right here on Healthwise AI. Your brain is listening. Let's help it heal. Like, comment, and subscribe to Healthwise AI for more super realistic, science-based videos about the human brain and body.